My name's Anita Collins. I'm the Programme Manager for the Learning and Teaching Programme. So I'm just going to be taking the next half hour or so, 30 minutes, just to kind of run through a bit of a taster. We're looking at children's learning at home today, as we thought that was very much a theme that's kind of our time. And just to kind of give you a chance to have a little go and experience what it's like being in our sessions, because they are quite interactive. At the moment, they are also online, so this is reflecting the kind of things that we've been doing in our sessions over the last couple of weeks. So the first part here is thinking about how to create a conducive learning environment, how to create an environment for learning. And obviously, you know, if children go to school, that's an environment that's been set up and has been thought about very carefully in terms of learning. But there's aspects of the learning of the home and space around the home which we can think about in relation to making a conducive learning environment. A learning environment, conducive means, you know, an environment which is easy for learning or creates a positive environment for learning. So that's the word conducive. It's a bit of an unusual word, maybe. Yeah. So what I'm going to invite you to do now is think about this, and to write. We're going to have our first practice of writing on this whiteboard here. Yeah, that's lovely. Shopping list for picnics and budgets. Lovely seeds. Yes, we've been doing that as well here in my house. Yeah, thank you everybody. Yes, Nadine's just said everyone's doing really well with the online space, and I'm also really impressed with how well you're interacting. Love art in the garden. Yeah, I was thinking about you know, the opportunity for doing like Andy Goldsworthy type, you know, art with leaves and things like that. We're going to think about emotionals now. So thinking about readiness for learning. So this is, you know, obviously less tangible. You know, we started with something that's quite easy to get hold of. By I mean tangible, you know, can get hold of it. So how can we create readiness for learning? So if we don't feel safe and happy, it's difficult to learn. If we don't feel in that, that's a mental space as well, and we'll think about that in a minute as well. People have been coming up with loads of stuff in the chat as well about loads of really great activities that you've been seeing people doing within your environment. So I guess we're all learning from each other at the moment, aren't we, in this? So yeah, that's fab. Thank you. Okay, so the last one that we're going to look at in this video is cognitive space. So we're thinking about focus and attention, and obviously this relates to the last 2 points really. You know, it's not a separate thing, but thinking about how do we engage and main focus. You know, it will vary for different children, different times of the day and different times of the week. And, you know, people have talked about learners with special educational needs and disabilities, and that, we know, will be very specific. I put a rule of thumb. There's some research that says, you know, 20 minutes is probably about a kind of typical amount of time that we can concentrate for, but obviously there's a huge amount of individual variation with that. So that's brilliant. So that's lots of ideas, and I think the next, I'm going to go through a few more slides now, really, which draw on this aspect of the cognitive space, and really think about some of the techniques that you're starting to come up with here about how we might engage children.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so my name's Gail. I've just finished my 3rd year in learning and teaching foundation degree in SEND. I've worked in a special school for 12 years now, and started working there as a lunchtime supervisor. Just sort of fell into the role through sort of necessity really, because that fit in with my kids in dropping off and picking up at school. Never ever thought I'd get a degree. I left school straight after GCSEs. I had no qualifications other than that. I'd worked up into my role in school through experience. I'd not been to college. I'd not got any NVQs, and sort of pretty much went into my university interview with a handful of GCSEs, and thankfully they accepted me on the course. And I've absolutely loved it.
We have 2 semesters at Leeds University, and they're 10 weeks per semester. So you're coming in for 20 weeks a year. Term time follows the schools. We have a reading week for half term, because we're aware of the fact that many, if not all, of our students are, you know, working in schools and may have children and need to be off for half term. The foundation degree is 3 years part-time. The BA top-up is a year or 2 years or 18 months. Like I said, you've got automatic right to progress for that, and there's a link on the bottom there for you to go in and have a look at the course on our programme catalogue.
If you're considering study either on this programme or any other, whether it's at the University of Leeds or anywhere else, we do have a guidance service that it's very easy to make an appointment for. So this is a chance to chat to either Denise or Mohammed, one of our guidance workers, who are both qualified and very experienced advisors. I think the students that you heard from today both spoke to them. To one of them, and they can help you with figuring out whether university study might be for you, what qualifications you might need beforehand, helping you with applications, figuring out whether part-time or full-time is going to work best for you, understanding what financial support you might get. So if you're interested in speaking to someone just to help with that process, just give us a ring or email us. We'll send